Hi everyone, it's Kasia from Tarot Map, and this video I entitled Kickstarter Rant, and I would like to show you these three decks that came from Kickstarter, and today is the last one that I'm picking up, of course, with paid custom fees. So my rant just basically is a rant about, it's not maybe anybody, I mean nobody can do anything about it, but it's the fact that people who don't live in the States have to really pay a lot of money to get the decks from Kickstarter. So sometimes I think, even though I want to support Kickstarter, support people, the decks end up being nearly double the price and that what you guys end up paying in the States. So I think this is definitely so this got a custom fee on it. The Cracked Amethyst Botanical deck got custom fee on it. It ended up being nearly double the price of what I paid on Kickstarter. So yeah, it gets a touch too much. So I think for a while this is going to be definitely the last few projects that I backed and that are coming from the States or Canada for that reason, because it's equally expensive. But let's just take a look at this amazing botanical deck. I'm just excited about it because I received it at today. It was lying at the customs for over a week. So let's see, how do we open it? This is in a regular box, so we open the box as we open the box. It looks beautiful. And then we have the booklet. Probably there is quite a few unboxings of this deck already, so I'm not going to show you all the cards, but I also want to speak about the other decks as well. So the deck arrives in two piles. So one is the tarot, probably one is oracle, or we'll see how that sits. I backed this deck because I just found it, first of all, I love the art, and second of all, I just thought it's such an interesting idea, to have. I love plants. I love, oh, it's cool. I was hoping it's not going to be so thick. It's more flexible, easier to shuffle, but at the same time, really nice paper, smooth, no lamination, no frames. So we have here a tarot deck and oracle deck. I can see that this is still left over of tarot, so the oracle deck has less cards, and together I think they're like 130 cards in this deck, so it's a big mama. Oh, look at this baobab magician. The backs are like this. Oh, it's exciting. I'm curious if I will be able to read with this deck, just because, it's very simple. It's doesn't have much to really go off on intuition, just the plant. And some plants I know, and I have my own, associations, but then the others, yeah, I'm curious. But it looks amazing. Wow. The colors are incredible. And the artwork, yeah, no, it's great. So I'm not going to just open it up now. So this is the botanical deck, and beautiful. I'm happy I have it, but I wish I didn't have to pay, double the price for it. The Meuse Tarot by Chris Ann is amazing. And I was actually, when I was backing the two decks, because I bought a bundle, I was first in love with Light Seers when I saw it online, but then when she started posting more and more of the Meuse Tarot cards, I was thinking, oh my god, I'm not sure now about the Light Seers, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to love the Meuse deck because it's so wonderful. And I wanted to show you a few of my favorite cards. I mean, most of the cards are really amazing. Check this Death card. So cool. I love the High Priest, like Page of Inspiration. It's really awesome too. Like, it's dynamic, it's like Page of Wands, so it's curious. There's all these ideas shaped in the clouds that she can access. Her hair is the same color as the clouds. The vibrancy of the deck, the gilding of this deck, it's incredible. So she did such a great job with this deck, and I actually really love it. I do have a bit of an issue with a water element, not with all the cards, but like Seven of Emotions. It's just, I don't know, it's not flowy enough. So a lot of the other suits are quite flowing, you know. I love actually the knights that she picked, the horses. They're very kind of dynamic, beautiful. But there's just something about the water element that I don't feel. Like even the Queen of Emotions, she's just so kind of futuristic, not totally flowing. Look at the High Priestess, she is incredible. So yeah, my only, not everything. For example, Ten and Emotions, beautiful. Totally dig it. I love it. It just feels spacious. I love the Seven of Inspiration, Seven of Wands, so cool. Totally feel it. It's great. The swords cards are awesome too. Three of Swords, amazing. Eight of Swords. But then this Ace of Emotion again. I don't know, I just feel it like it's too computerized. Maybe reminds me of Captain Nemo too much. There's always those, you know, those kind of, she chose to have this kind of aquarium, fish, coral reef kind of feel, but it feels very, like, too stiff. And I don't know, I know Christian is not stiff, so it's not, it's just personal style, you know, that the water element I'm not feeling in the Meuse Tarot. And maybe I'm not such a big water, look at this Queen of Swords. Ah, she's hot. I'm not such a great maybe water element fan. And there were two choices of the Empress. She actually sent the replacement Empress because this first one was marked as number 2. I just add not very nicely 3 to it because I prefer the Empress to have open eyes for some reasons. I felt like the new one with closed eyes just reminds me of High Priestess too much. And the Empress with open eyes, she's the one who creates, like she goes up, you know, she's just out there. So I'm keeping the replacement one in the box, but I'm not really using it. And another one with Two of Emotions. I don't know if it's the stripy background or if the Nemo of a fish. It's just something, I'm not connecting to the emotions, but every other element, I dig it. It's really cool. How cool is this Justice card? Yeah, so the cards for emotions, it's okay. I love the Muse here and just the sense of, you know, suspension. That's beautiful. Ah, so good. Oh, Awakening Judgment card. Ah, it's one of my favorite judgments ever. I love this card. It's so amazing. And the Nine of Emotions. I get the vibe, but no. Again, only water element. It's just something the Chariot's pretty cool. I'm just not digging the water element in most of the cases. Knights are amazing. So I wish you, if you had this deck, let me know what you think. The World, very cool. Sun, so bursting with vitality, love it. Let me know what you think. Like Three of Emotions, so kind of controlled, so I don't know, I'm not feeling that water here, but everything else is incredible. So I love this deck. I'm working to get used to, you know, this water kind of element. The Hierophant, oh, lovely. But all in one, this is incredible deck. And what Chrisanne did with these two decks, as with the Sacred Creators Oracle, this is amazing. 10 out of 10 I'd give these two decks. It's really incredible. It's so beautiful. It's top notch. The cardstock is quite thick, so right now I had this sale on the What I Need to Know Right Now readings, and it was sale because I wanted to use the the Light Seers deck, which I have. So right now I'm able to, I don't know if you can show it, probably not, but I'm able to riffle shuffle this deck, and it's fine. I broke through it a little bit, but it's still quite a stiff stock. It's a beautiful stock. It feels really good. It's the same stock as Sacred Creators Oracle if you had it. And I was surprised with Light Seers because at some point I was thinking maybe it's going to be a bit too young for me. I saw a lot of images, a lot of walkthroughs and stuff, but this judgment is awesome too. But I have to say something about this deck, and I already said it on my Instagram video, but I think that in your hands, so when I see the images online, I see them and I think they're beautiful, but I'm not sure if I can connect. But then in my hands, when I hold the deck physically and I use it, this is such a great reader. I don't know, Krisen's energy comes through. It's a beautiful, soulful, all-embracing deck. We know that there has been a controversy about the Ten of Swords. So this is the Ten of Swords. This image has created a lot of discussion and a lot of unnecessary heated online discussion. I think people online totally forget the manners and totally behave the way they would never behave face to face. I think the anonymity of writing what you have on your tongue just comes across. So from my perspective, first of all, I wanted to add that I never have and will question Krisen's integrity, her intention, and as a creator, I think she came up with this image not to hurt anybody, but this is Ten of Swords. It's a hurtful card. It shows a person dead with 10 swords in their back, but this image was especially hurtful, I think, to a lot of Black women, because it reminds us, maybe it's not what Krisen had in mind when she painted it, but it's very kind of awakening the memory of slavery and of being whipped. And for a lot of Black people, they still, carry a lot of wounding around it. So I would never take away the right of people to feel this image as hurtful, even though Krisen never had an intention for the image to be so. And Krisen always was open to dealing with and being able to dealing with this issue, and she was okay with people questioning her art and asking questions, and even she is okay with changing the image in the end. But I think it went from this discussion that maybe has to happen because there is so much trauma and so much wounding between the races. But I also know that there is a lot of Black people and a lot of white people who want to work towards unifying and creating a better future for all the humans. And I think this is our responsibility to hold the vision of what we can do. We cannot undo all this horrible harm that was done, but we can be better. We can do better. And I think on the way we probably will make mistakes. People say that if Krisen asked, it wouldn't have happened, but from what I remember, she was putting all of the images from the Light Seers, or most of them, on her Instagram feed. People were able to question, people were able to say, hey, this is fucked up. And nobody said anything then. Later on, this huge discussion came out, and I think discussion per se, it's fine, but how it went about and how people just gang up, white people gang up, Black people gang up. I'm also sick of fucking saying white and Black. I'm just so over this shit. And I'm not saying it in disrespectful matter over this shit as over Black people or over white people. I'm just would really want to move past these colors, because in the end I think also we can say that women are fucked up. In general, women are fucked up. But I think this whole process is basically fundamentally fucked up. The whole system is off, and I think that's like we are in the process of dismantling a lot of the structures that have created the suffering. And I'm not excusing white women, white people, like, oh God, I'm far from it. But at the same time, there's no exclusivity on suffering. And one of the friends, this is a woman that I really admire, and maybe saying friend is a bit too far stretched, because we don't know each other in person, but I'm talking about Queen Osset, Oya's girl, here on YouTube. I will link her channel below and her IG, and I really admire her. She's a Black woman, and I asked her, because whom am I going to ask? I live outside the US. I'm removed from US narration. I don't have too many Black people around me, if any. So it's a kind of, I'm a little bit removed from the whole slavery story, as I'm a white person, yes, but I lived enslaved by other white people in communism and before, when my country was 100 years disappeared from the map. So I'm kind of, I dealt with a different issue, different suffering and different things. So I talk to people who are part of this this particular tragic story. And Queen Osset was amazing in how she I just was curious what she was feeling, and she said, I hope I can say it loud. Can I? Basically, she said that she had a visceral reaction. That's all I say. So when somebody says to me that what I created, let's say I made this deck, and somebody says to me that it hurts me to look at it, I had a visceral reaction because of what's gone on with the ancestors, but also in personal lives of many people, Black or white or yellow. There is suffering. This card is meant to, in a way, awaken this response. And I cannot deny anybody to feel like it. Can we deny people expecting of Chris N to change their image? I don't know. She is changing it. I personally really, can we say, like the image? I can't say nobody likes 10 of Swords, but I think this image is very evocative. It speaks of 10 wound after the swords were removed. So it's also a card of healing, and that's what Queen Osset also was kind of saying, that she uses this as a card of healing and moving past the suffering. But nevertheless, she doesn't like the card. And I think as a white people who live in the system that basically is a racist system, we cannot deny people to express this. There should be another discussion of, should artists change the deck? Would it be different if this was the Black person making the deck? Would it be okay not to at all mention the subjects? Who knows? I don't know. But this image was controversial, so I just wanted to mention this. So it made me think, made me feel. It's still brewing in me, like, where do I stand? How do I respond to it? How can I be better? How can I educate myself more? How can I be more inclusive? How can I be more balanced within myself? I really truly believe it's our responsibility, each of us, to create more respect towards ourselves and towards other human beings. And how we discuss things online shouldn't be disgusting, but it should be we should be able to discuss those difficult issues without hating each other or dividing each other so much because of our skin color. That was done in the past. Nobody can change it anymore. But I think right now, I know that there's a lot of Black people and white people and yellow people and red people who are working towards a common humanity, and that's what we have to focus on, because we can't just do the whole reverse revenge and oppressor becomes a victim becomes the oppressor cycle going on. It's horrible, and it doesn't lead anywhere, and we see it from history. So I don't know, I'm a bit like lost in this, and a little bit I feel also really sorry for what happened to so many human beings, what's still happening to so many human beings. And yeah, basically it's not a beautiful maybe world to live in, but yeah, we can give up, or we can keep the vision that it's possible to, you know, go into an like different direction. And that's like the role of the healer as well. That's where we can maybe move. So anyway, that's what I wanted to show you, the 3 Kickstarter decks. Love those decks, and I'm going to open up and play with the Botanical deck and see the images, and maybe do another video on how I can read with it, or if I can read or can't read with it. But thanks for watching. If you do comment under this video, please be respectful of, be honest, but be respectful. Just express yourself in a way that we can respond to the comments, and please don't attack and don't use abusive words, because I'm going to delete those comments. I'm not interested in participating in any blame and finger pointing, but I'm definitely open towards discussing those issues, because I think we're in the process of dismantling a system that is fundamentally fucked up, and we might not be able to see it. Maybe we will be dead when, you know, the shift happens, but mistakes will still happen on the way. If they're intentional or not doesn't matter in the end, but there's still more education needed, and as always, more compassion. And I hope the fucking human beings will learn this at some point, because it's been happening since forever. More compassion. And all the teachers who came and claimed love and compassion, they never ended up very well. So anyway, thank you for watching, and I speak to you soon. Bye.